Hello there and welcome to my channel again. Today I've brought a video in a very interesting and important topic, as you must have already seen in my thumbnail. Well, I'm going to discuss my picks of the best second-hand bikes that you can buy here in India. Alright, so there are many options available if you're looking to buy a second-hand bike, and here is a list of few bikes that will be worth spending your hard-earned money and will also give you a proper value for money proposition if you buy it second-hand. So I have prepared this list, numbering the bikes in 5 categories, and I have put almost 2 to 3 bikes in each category. So coming up at number 5 is the Apache series. The Apache RTR 180 and the Apache RTR 200 4V. So let us talk about RTR 180 first. It is powered by a 177.4cc air-cooled engine, which produces a maximum power of 16.79 PS at 8,500 RPM and a maximum torque of 15.5 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM. It's got a 5-speed gearbox and it's got a very good and punchy engine with low seat height, and it's best for beginners and girls. Now talking about the RTR 200, it's got a 197.7cc oil-cooled engine which produces a maximum power of 20.82 PS at 9,000 RPM and a maximum torque of 18 Newton meters at 7,800 RPM. It has also got a 5-speed gearbox and it's got ABS, and the ride is very comfortable, and this bike gives you a lots of new features which no other bikes in this segment will give you. Alright, and the TVS Apache series, you can find it very cheap on second-hand used market. As you can see some examples over here, the RTR 180 comes very cheap, and the RTR 200 you'll have to spend around 60 to 80,000 and you can get a very nice condition bike. Now moving on to number 4, we have got the Bajaj Pulsar series, and I have included 3 bikes over here: the Pulsar 220, NS 200 and the RS 200. So first up, talking about the 220, this bike comes with a 220cc oil-cooled motor which produces a maximum power of 20.4 PS at 8,500 RPM and a maximum torque of 18.5 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM. This is an iconic bike since this has been over a decade in the Indian market now, and this bike is easily available at all parts of the country in the second-hand market. This bike comes with a 5-speed gearbox and it has got some vibrations, and it's been quite old now. Alright. Now next comes the NS 200 and the RS 200, both of which are powered by the same KTM engine, a 199cc oil-cooled motor which produces a maximum of 24 PS at 9,700 RPM and a maximum torque of 18.5 Newton meters at 8,000 RPM. It comes with a 6-speed gearbox and packs in top-notch performance with great looks. Alright, these bikes are easy to maintain, being a Bajaj, and gives you the best performance package. Both bikes provide a very great value for money proposition if bought second-hand with good condition. Alright, you can find these bikes easily in the used market also, but you'll have to be very careful while buying these bikes and see that these bikes are very properly maintained. Now at number 3, we have got the CBR 250R along with the CBR 150R, but I would recommend going for the 250R because this bike gives you best value for money in the second-hand market. This bike comes with a 249.6cc liquid-cooled fuel-injected motor which produces a maximum power of 26.5 PS at 8,500 RPM and a maximum torque of 22.9 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM. This bike is a sports tourer and it's very comfortable. It's neither very upright or neither very sporty, and the refinement is like no other bike in its class. Alright, it is the best second-hand value, and it comes very cheap, and it's very reliable, and it's very good looking. At least I like the looks of this bike very much. And one of the downside in this bike is finding the spare parts, but I'm telling you, you won't need much of the spare parts if you can maintain this bike, and you can get a very good condition CBR 250 for less than 70,000. So you can buy a great 250cc sports bike for less money than a Hero Splendor. Now in the second position, I have included three bikes which are all of 400cc class. Firstly being the KTM RC390 and the Duke 390, and the other being the Dominar 400. All of these three bikes you can get it in the second-hand market for less than 2 lakhs rupees. The Dominar 400 you can get it below 1.5 also. So these bikes makes great sense if you buy it second hand, alright, because the kind of power and the kind of feel these bikes can give you, you will not need any other bike after these. So I'm including these bikes. So let me talk to you about the KTM 390. It comes with a 373.2cc liquid cooled FI unit with 6-speed gearbox which produces a maximum power of 43 PS at 9000 rpm and a maximum torque of 36 Newton meters at 7000 rpm. These are quite massive numbers. These bikes are very torquey and comes with a very powerful engine. The speed figures reaches in 0 to 100 time in 5.6 seconds and hits a top speed of around 170 kilometers per hour. These bikes are best power to weight ratio and packs in lots of cool features. These bikes are very easy to handle and they are obviously very gorgeous looking, and these are the best track bikes that you can buy in India. The Dominar 400 comes with a 373.3cc liquid cooled motor that is the same as the KTM's motor that produces a maximum power of 35 PS at 8000 rpm and 35 Newton meters at 6500 rpm. Well, these figures are of the old ones, and the newer ones produce 40 PS at 8800 rpm and maximum torque of 35 Newton meters at 6500 rpm. It comes with the same 6-speed gearbox, and it has also got a very eager and torquey and powerful and aggressive motor. This bike is the best value for money bike and reaches a 0 to 100 speed at around 8.5 seconds, and this bike's top speed is 165 kilometers per hour. And this bike is quite heavy comparing to the KTM's, and this bike is one of the cheapest 400cc premium bikes that you can buy in India, and this bike will be the best deal if you can get it second hand with a good condition. So coming in at number 1 is the Yamaha FZ and the Yamaha R15. Basically I'm talking about version 2 of both these bikes. The FZ comes with a 149cc air-cooled motor which produces a maximum power of 13.2 PS at 8000 rpm and a maximum torque of 12.8 Newton meters at 6000 rpm. These bikes are very easy to maintain, very good looking, and the spares are available with ease. It provides a great fuel economy. The ride quality of this bike is awesome. The seating position of this bike is very easy, and these bikes are very easy to handle, and it's light in weight. The bike is very reliable being a Yamaha, and the availability of this bike will be very easy. So it won't have any problems regarding its maintenance and its spares. You can get this bike spares anywhere and any mechanic can fix this bike for you, because this FZ has been in the Indian market since over a decade now. Alright, and this bike comes very cheap in the second-hand used market, and these bikes are very easy to maintain and these bikes looks amazing. Alright, the only downside of this bike is a little bit lag in power, especially if you're riding up the hill with a pillion. Then you'll feel a little bit of power lag. Well, that is the only downside in this bike. If you are facing problems in power, then you can also go with FZ250. It will also be available in the used market. It comes with a 249cc air-cooled motor which produces a maximum power of 20.8 PS at 8000 rpm and 21 Newton meters at 6000 rpm. It comes with a 5-speed gearbox, and the 5-speed gearbox is the only disadvantage in the FZ250. So, talking about the R15 now. The R15 comes with a 149.8cc liquid cooled motor which produces a maximum power of 17 PS at 8500 rpm and a maximum torque of 15 Newton meters at 7500 rpm. It's got a 6-speed gearbox and the best sports bike in 150cc segment. The looks of this bike is very wonderful with good power and mileage, and the bike is very reliable and quite easy to maintain compared to other sports bike. Alright, and this bike has got a huge fan following till now, and this bike has got a great resale value. So guys, these are the list of my bikes that you can buy second hand, and it will make great sense. So if you like this video and if you're planning to buy any of these bikes second hand, please do let me know in the comments below, and if you do like this video, please share and subscribe.